So, so this is your today's topic. Okay, the last lecture was on your stresses in the rigid pavement due to loading. Okay, so we already said there are three critical positions: loading at the interior, at the corner, and at the edge. Also, in the last class, I forgot to tell you one thing, that is aid loading due to stress due to loading in the edge region will be most of the case maximum. Okay, there are three values for your stresses due to loading, that is se, sc, and si. So among these three, you can see from your previous problem or numerical also that s suffix e maximum among the three. So at the edge, it is always believed that at the edge maximum stress is generated due to loading. Clear? Now next stress is your, that was due to loading, and today's topic is also the stresses which is developed in the rigid pavement due to temperature variation. Okay, as I already said, due to daily temperature variation, there will be difference in the due to daily variation in the temperature, there will be difference in the top and the bottom layer of the pavement. Layer of the pavement means, here rigid pavement means slab. Okay, so top layer and the bottom layer of the slab, there will be temperature difference, as I already described. Now because of this, one stress is generated which is here known as warping stress. Okay, so we can see here, this one I have already explained in the previous lecture. During daytime, top will be greater and bottom will be, temperature will be lower. Okay, so for that, what happens during daytime? Okay, this is in the direct contact of the sun, so this temperature will be greater than this temperature, and this has a tendency to expand, right? So the rate of expansion is more compared to the bottom layer, so it will now convert to like this, they will warp down or curl down. This condition is known as warp down condition. Okay, so externally, which stress is developing at the top layer? Externally, tensile stress is developing, whereas at the bottom, compressive stress is generating. Okay, but due to its self weight, it will try to resist this external stresses. Okay, so resist the tension, compression is generated within the pavement slab at the top layer, and in order to resist this compression, tension is generated on the slab at the bottom layer. For which condition? For during daytime. Okay, this is the condition. Now this is again vice versa in case of night time. Why? At the night, this temperature is lesser than this one. At the night, it has a tendency to cool, right? Night temperature is always lesser than the day temperature. So this, now which was expanded in the daytime, now it is contracted in the night time. Okay. So for which what happened? The rate of contraction of the top layer will be more because it's more cooler than the bottom layer. So the rate of contraction will be more in the top layer, whereas it will be less in the bottom layer. So it will look like this, so it will convert like this, warp up, it's facing upward. Okay, so again due to self weight, it has its own weight, it's made up of slab, concrete slab, so it has its own weight. So due to its slab weight, self weight, it will try to resist these external forces. See, at the top layer it is a compressive stress, and at the bottom layer it is tension in nature. Okay, but due to self weight, it will try to resist these two stresses. So at the top there will be tensile stress, and at the bottom there will be compression stress. This I have already explained yesterday. Okay, clear till here everyone?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, now see here, I will see, you can see that it's tension. Okay, at the night time it was warp up. See, it's night time, it was warp up. So in the topmost layer it will be tension within the slab, and at the bottom layer it will be compression. Similarly vice versa in this case. See here, why? because it has a tendency, this weight has a tendency to move the slab downwards, for which generating, okay, within the slab tension will generate. Same here at the bottom, this middle portion self weight has a tendency to bring the slab downward. So what happens, it will compress and it will tension. Okay, so we must consider this term where it will be compression and where it will be tension. Okay, at the last portion of this lecture you will get to know why I am talking about this, where it will be compression or tension. Now this was your warping stress. Okay, these are the condition, how it, whether it is compression or tension. But there are some formulas also in order to calculate these stresses. Okay, in the previous lecture it was the stress analysis due to Westergaard. Okay, due to loading, stress due to loading was calculated using Westergaard equation. Here Bradbury's equation, or say using the Bradbury's coefficient, we can calculate the this stresses, warping stresses. Here also at the interior and interior region, at the edge region, and at the corner region. Three regions are there for this one warping stress, and three formulas are there. Okay, now see, for interior region it is given like this. Okay, E, what is E? What is this capital E? Anyone?
Modulus.
Elasticity modulus, modulus of elasticity. Okay, unit will be kg per centimeter square. If it is not given, then I said assume it as 3 into
3
10 to the power
point.
5 kg per centimeter
Yeah.
square. 3 into 10 to the power 5 kg per centimeter square. Okay, now this T, as I already said, what is this T? This T is the difference between the top layer temperature and bottom layer temperature. T1 minus T2. Okay, whichever is greater, that will be first, that will come first, then minus the second one. Okay, for suppose in this case T1 is greater than T2, so small t will be T1 minus T2. Okay, and here it will be opposite. So that T is your, small t is your delta T, we can call it as delta T. Okay, whereas delta T is the temperature difference between the top or bottom layer. Now here mu is given. Mu is again your Poisson's ratio, which is, if not provided in the question, consider it as point, how much, 15. Okay, this is also the same, mu. Now here see, there are two terms. This is alpha. Okay, and this is cx, cy, suffix x, c suffix y. Now what is alpha? Here we are dealing with the temperature variation. Clear? Here we are dealing with temperature variation. That means, hey, mute. Hey, please mute the mic, mute karo. So this alpha is your coefficient of thermal expansion. Okay, coefficient of thermal expansion. We are dealing with the temperature difference. Okay, so here alpha will come, the thermal coefficient of concrete. If not provided, assume it as 10 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. Okay, now I will talk about this Cx Cy later on. Now what is here? E alpha t Cx by 2, Cy alpha E alpha t by 2. See, both the cases here, this and these terms are same. Only difference is what? The Cx and Cy. So whichever will be greater, the whole value will be greater. Okay, for this condition, we have to take whichever is maximum. Among these two, whichever is maximum. That we can conclude, if Cy is maximum, then obviously the whole value will be maximum. Or if Cx is greater, then whole value will be greater. Okay, so no need to calculate twice. If we calculate Cx and Cy, and if we see that Cx is greater than Cy, then only use this formula. Now comes for corner, it is again like this, E alpha t by 3 1 minus mu under root A by L. Here A you already know, this is what? Contact area. Suppose this is the wheel load, its imprint will be a circular in nature, contact area will be circular in nature, and the radius is the A. Okay, so that A is the radius, and L is what? What is L? What will be the L here? Small l. This is one of the important parameter for rigid pavement design, which I've already taught in previous lecture.
Ma'am,
And you have,
radius of
yes,
relative stiffness.
yes. Radius of relative stiffness. Okay, which is again given by this formula. Hope you must know the formula. E h cube by 12 k 1 minus mu square. Okay, this whole will be to the power 1 by 4. We have to calculate this, or it will be provided, and unit will be in centimeter. Here h is the thickness of in centimeter, k is the modulus of subgrade reaction in kg per centimeter cube. Okay, so here the new terms are what? New terms is only cx and cy. These are known as Bradbury's coefficient, as the formula is for Bradbury's equation. So these terms are the coefficient, which is also known as Bradbury's coefficient. Now in order to find this value, we can use this chart, which is given in your IRC 58 also. Okay, this chart is given in IRC 58 page 21. You can see here, see this one, page 21. This is that chart. Okay, or mm, like this, see here, in order to calculate this will be used both for cx and cy. Okay, if you are calculating, and this two value depends on this value, lx by l or ly by l. Okay, so once if we put lx by l value here, and if we find the corresponding this c value, that will give you the cx, or if we put ly by l value here and find the corresponding c value, that will be your cy. So for both, this chart will remain same. Okay, now what are these lx by l? So in order to calculate this cx value, we must know this ratio. L we already know, this is the radius of relative stiffness in centimeter. Now Lx is what? For this, go to this one. As I already showed you in the previous lecture, that rigid pavement is constructed by joining the slab of certain thickness, certain length, and certain breadth together. Okay, so breadth is length is this one. If this is the duration of the traffic, then we will call it as length. This is the length. This is the breadth. Okay, so for certain slab, suppose for this slab, we are calculating the warping stress. So we need to find cx and cy for this slab. So lx is what? Longest dimension. That will be your length. Okay, and ly is the breadth of the width of the slab. Or we can, sometimes they can give you the they can say lane width also. This is what? This is lane also, right? One single lane. So they sometimes they will give you single lane value also, that is 3.5 meter, or sometimes they will tell width of the slab is this much. Okay, that will be the value. And sometime, if suppose this is two lane pavement, suppose there are three lane, more than two lane pavement, like this same pavements are for three lanes. Okay, they are more than three lanes, then there will be what? See, there are how many longitudinal joints now? Previously, it was only one longitudinal joint. This is the longitudinal joint. Okay, this is the longitudinal joint. And now there are 1 and 2 longitudinal joint. Okay, so sometimes they will give you the spacing of the longitudinal joint also. Spacing means what is the distance between two successive longitudinal joint. Okay, suppose this is the first longitudinal joint, the another longitudinal joint, and again if it is 4 length, then this will be the third longitudinal joint. So is distance between each longitudinal joint. So they may give you the spacing between the longitudinal joints also. Okay, and that will be your ly value, either width of the slab, either spacing of the longitudinal joint, or lane width. Whatever it will be given, that will be a ly value, whereas lx will be the length of the slab. And also see, this joint is what? This is your transverse joint, perpendicular to the traffic. I already said this is your transverse joint. Okay, and sometimes it is also known as contraction joint. These joints are also known as contraction joints. So sometimes they will give you as length of the slab, or they will ask you they will give you the spacing of the contraction joint is suppose 4.5 meter. They have given like the spacing of the contraction joint is 4.5 meter. That means they have given you the lx value. Okay, and if they are saying that suppose the longitudinal joint is at interval spacing of 3.5 meter, then this will be your ly value. Ly will be 3.5 and lx will be 4.5 meter. Clear? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Acha, see here, this ratio is what? Dimensionless. This would be dimensionless, right? See, this is also length dimension, this is also length dimension. This is radius of relative stiffness, which is unit is in centimeter, and this one I'm saying this is in meter. We have to convert this into centimeter. Okay, if this value is given in meter, suppose length of the slab, whatever it is given in meter, we have to convert it into first centimeter, then divide it by the radius of relative stiffness. Don't just multiply. Suppose relative stiffness, your value is about 50 centimeter, whereas your lx value is 4.5 meter. So we can't find this one by just dividing 4.5 by 60. Okay, 4.5 is in meter and 60 is in centimeter. Both should have the same unit. So we can convert either 4.5 to 100, multiply it by 100. So 0 by 50 will give you this value. Then put that value whatever. Suppose your lx by l came out to be suppose 3. Okay, so for lx by l equals to 3, cx will be 0.175. Okay, and similarly if you calculate suppose ly by l and you got it as suppose 2, then the corresponding value from the same chart will be cy. Clear? If it comes in between them, then we have to interpolate. Okay, see here, I would like to say that in some problem you will get this lx by l or ly by l more than 12. It may come more than 12. Then what we will do? See, this table is only up to 12, but if it comes more than 12, then there is one chart. Okay, wait, Bradbury's coefficient. It said that Bradbury's coefficient chart. I've already provided it in the Google Classroom. See here, see, this is that chart curve. From this curve also we can find suppose corresponding c respective to the corresponding to the b by l. Now b will be, if it is lx by l, then we will get cx. If it is ly by l, then we will get cy. See, b is for length and width, both the case. Okay, so here we can find, see here, it is 10 up to 15 we can find from this curve. Above 12 also we can find, use this curve to determine c value. Okay, whereas from the table we will get only up to 12. So this is how we can find x and cy. After finding using the graph or the chart, we can then substitute these values here, put all other values, we will calculate and we will get these values. Clear? See, sti is for interior, edge and corner, and it is denoted by st only. Previously for load, stress due to load, it was only s. Suppose s, If it is in edge, S suffix E. If it is in internal, S suffix I. If it is in corner region, then F suffix C. Here ST. Okay, here ST denotes that this is the warping stress. So STI, STE, STC. Clear? So let us do one problem. It will be more clear then. Suppose this is the problem. You can see, everyone. Can you see the problem? See here.
No.
See, they're asking you to determine the warping stress. Again, three conditions are given: interior, edge, and corner. Okay. In 25 centimeter thick concrete slab. So this is what? H. With, see here now again, with transverse joints at 11-meter interval and longitudinal joints at 3.6 meter interval. So what are these values now? What is this 11 meter and what is this 3.6 meter?
ম্যাম ওটা এলিপস আর তারপর একটা এলওয়াই তাই তো?
See here, this is your transverse joint. Okay, as I said, this is your transverse. This is perpendicular. This joint is perpendicular to the direction of traffic. It's called transverse joint. They are saying that the interval between the transverse joint means gap between the transverse joint or spacing between the transverse joint is 11 meter. So this is your 11 meter LX. Okay, whereas they're saying interval between the longitudinal joint. Suppose this is, there will be one more slab. If there will be one more slab, then this is your longitudinal joint. This is another longitudinal joint. So the distance between this longitudinal joint is how much? 3.5 meter, they said. So that is your LY. Sorry, 3.3 meter, I think. Right? 3.6 meter. It's given 3.6 meter. So LY is your 3.6 meter, whereas this one is your 11 meter. Okay. So, and what are the other data they have given? The modulus of subgrade reaction, K, is this much kg per centimeter cube. Assume temperature differential for day condition to be 0.6 degree centigrade per centimeter slab thickness. Okay. What does it mean? Temperature differential for day condition to be 0.6 centimeter. See the unit. Okay. 0.6 degree centigrade per centimeter. Suppose this is the slab thickness. Okay. Suppose this is the slab. And the thickness, I said, it is your how much? 25 centimeter. Okay. So in warping stress, there is one small t term. We have to find the temperature difference between top and bottom layer, right? एकदम top से लेकर bottom तक का temperature difference क्या होगा? We have to determine that one. Okay. Here, what they have given? They have given that the temperature difference for 1 centimeter. Suppose this is your 1 centimeter thickness. So the temperature difference for 1 centimeter thickness is how much? 0.6 degree centigrade. Okay. That means the difference between this top surface and this layer is only 0.6 degree centigrade. But we have to find T. T is what? Difference between here to here. So what will be the difference temperature between here and here? One, say, for 1 centimeter, the temperature is 0.6. So what will be the temperature difference for 2.5 centimeter? 1 centimeter temperature difference is how much? 0.6, right?
ম্যাম মাল্টিপ্লাই করে দেবো।
Exactly, 0.6 degree centigrade. So for 2.5 centimeter, sorry, 25 centimeter, temperature difference will be 0.6 into 2.5, sorry, 25. 0.6 into 25 centimeter. Okay, that will give you the t value. This is your small t in the equation. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
What about others? Please respond, okay, so that I can understand whether you are understanding or not. Clear?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
So we can calculate t also. We have h, we have lx, we have ly, we have k, we have now small t also. Small t is 0.6 into the total thickness. Okay, now assume the radius of loaded area as 15 centimeter. Okay, loaded area is your radius of loaded area. As I said, this is the wheel load. Suppose this is the wheel. Okay, suppose this is the wheel, then the circular imprint will be it will have its circular imprint through which the load is transferred to the slab, and the radius is contact area, radius is a. So this is your a for computing warping corner. Now what are the additional data? If they are not providing, then we have to assume this additional data also. Okay, but here they have given, suppose this one e is given 3 into 10 to the power 5 alpha. If not given, we have to assume it as 10 into 10 to the power 5 minus 6 per degree centigrade, and mu as 0.15. Okay, so please write down the values, whatever values they have given, and I will give you the equation. You try to solve. Okay, so write down h equals to 25 centimeter.
ম্যাম
Hmm?
বলছিলাম যে অ্যাজিউম রেডিয়াস অফ লোডেড এরিয়া অ্যাজ 15 সেমি, ওটা
Hmm.
ওটা কি বললেন?
That is not that. This is your a contact area
আচ্ছা এটা।
radius of contact area. Okay,
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
acha, please calculate values.
হুম।
See, h write down h equals to 25 centimeter. Okay, lx is what? Transverse joint interval of transverse joint. Okay, that is lx. Longitudinal joint interval of longitudinal joint is 3.6 meter. So this is ly, capital L suffix y, 3.6 meter. Okay, k is given 6.9 kg per centimeter cube. Okay, small t will be 0.6 into 25 centimeter. So small t will be 0.6 into 25 centimeter. See, the unit is what? Degree centigrade per centimeter multiplied into centimeter will give you degree centigrade. So T is the temperature difference, T1 minus T2, which is 0.6 into 25 centimeter. Radius of loaded area, this is A. Small a is 15 centimeter. And these are the other values. Everyone noted down. I'll show you the equations then.
ম্যাম
Hmm?
বলছি যে এলটা তো ক্যালকুলেট করব,
Yes,
তো
yes.
ওটা কি 94.08 আসবে?
L
হ্যাঁ 94.87।
it came out to be 87.2 centimeter. 87. See here, E is given as 3 into 10 to the power 5, H is 25, K will be your 6.9, mu will be 0.15. Okay, so formula was L Formula was, see, I will give you here. This is your formula. For L, it's this formula, okay? Please note it down. L value, L formula is this one. It was in previous lecture also.
Ma'am, 87.23 আসছে।
See here, it's given 87.2 centimeter. What about others? Are they calculating? Hmm?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম এটাই এসেছে।
Acha, okay. And boys, are you there? सब लोग हो या सो गए हो? अरिंदम আছে এরা? আছে তো?
হ্যালো।
হ্যাঁ, করছো?
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম, করছি ম্যাম।
দেখো।
করলাম ম্যাম, 87.23
আচ্ছা,
আসছে।
now what is next procedure? Go to the formula. See, these are the three formulas. Okay. So here, what values do we need? E, alpha is given, E also given, T we calculated, mu is also given. So only formula is now Cx and Cy. See, in everything we need only Cx and Cy. So for that, first determine this Lx by L value. Determine
ম্যাম,
করো. Hmm?
Lx by L টা হচ্ছে 12.6।
Yes, 12.6. As I said, Lx is 11 meter and L came out to be 87.2. Convert that 11 meter into a centimeter. So 1100 by 87.2 will give you 12.61. So here, okay. And Ly by L is coming out to be 14.13.
ম্যাম
Oh,
4.1।
sorry, 4.13. See here, as I said that from the table we will get L by L value till 12. For our first case, that is for Lx by L, it is crossing this limit, okay. Whereas for Ly by L, we can use this chart because it is within this chart only. What was your value? 4.13. Okay. So for 4.13, if you interpolate these two values and corresponding these two values, we will get 0.53. If we interpolate, we will get Cy as 0.53. দেখো হচ্ছে কি হচ্ছে না? If for 4 it is 0.44, for 5 it is 0.72, 4.13 lies between the two, so we have to interpolate these two values also. So it's coming out to be 0.53. এসেছে? হুম? Hello?
ম্যাম করছি।
You know how to interpolate, right? So this is
ম্যাম
like this.
ম্যাম 0.4036 আসবে।
4036 53 আসছে না?
দাঁড়ান একটু দাঁড়ান।
দেখো এই ফর্মুলা 0.4.13 minus 4 by 5 minus 1 equals to CY minus 0.44 by
ওটা 5 minus 4 হবে না?
ওটা 4ই তো, সরি।
ও 1 হয়ে গেছে।
0.72 minus 0.44. দেখো কত আসবে। So 0.13 into
বলছি এটা 5 minus 4.12 হবে না?
4.12. See, see here. If we subtract these two, 4.13 minus 4, okay,
হুম,
we have to subtract these two corresponding values, CY minus 0.44. See, 4.13 equals to C1 minus 0.44. And if we are subtracting these two, then we have to subtract these two. So 5 minus 4 equals to 0.72 minus 0.44.
আর ম্যাম ওটা 0.476 আসছে।
Okay, wait, I will check. Okay. Divided on yes 0.44. আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ, এটা this is wrong. Okay, this one will be wrong. 0.4764.
হ্যাঁ
Okay,
ম্যাম।
it will come out to be 4764. This is wrong. Coming out to be 0.4764. See, match your answer. Others, everyone, please match your answer. It will come out to be this one. Now see here, for Lx by L, it's coming out to be 12.61. So we can't use that table. So for that, we have to use this chart. Okay, so we have to use this chart. See here, if we divide this into total 5 division, our answer is 12 point. Lx by L was how much?
12.6
12.6. So if we divide this into 4 portion 11 12 13 14 15, so 2.16. So 1 11 12 12.16, it will lie somewhere here. So go straight. It will touch somewhere here. Okay, now go from here straight somewhere here. Okay, so if we divide this into 10 halves, 5 halves, then we can say that this is 0.03 or 0.02. Okay,
1.2 होगा मैम।
1.2 এত উপরে,
सॉरी मैम মানে
1.02 like that, right?
1.02
1.02 or 1.03 like that. So you can write anything as per your I estimate. I have written here 1.03. Okay, so now use these values here. We got Cx, we got Cy. So use this, simple. Everything is given. Just use this value and we will get. See, please note it down. Okay, no need to calculate now. Just after this we have to just substitute the values. See, E is equals to 3 into 10 to the power 5. Alpha is given 10 into 10 to the power minus 6. T, it came out to be 15 degrees centigrade. Cx 1.03. Mu is 0.5. Cy is your, here it is wrong, it will be 0.476. So put these values, everything, we will get these values. For interior, it is coming out to be 25.6. For edge, 23.17. And for corner, 7.32. Since these are what? These are again stress. So stress unit will be kg per centimeter square. Okay, mind it. Okay, now we'll go to the next topic. Till here clear how to solve?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay. Now our next stress is what? That was your durational, matlab daily basis temperature variation. Now another variation is your seasonal variation of temperature. Okay, and due to that condition, that due to this seasonal variation condition, one stress will develop within the concrete slab, that is called stress, yeah, tensile stress resisting the frictional stress. Okay, tensile stress resisting the frictional force, rather we can say in simply frictional stress. Why frictional stress? Because that stress is resisting the frictional force. That stress is generated within the slab, inside the slab, to resist the frictional flow force between the slab and the between the bottom. Suppose this is your slab. Okay, so one stress will generate within this slab. Okay, in order to resist the frictional force. Suppose this is a frictional force. In order to resist this, some internally stress will be generated inside the slab. That's why it is called frictional stress. Okay, don't get confused with the frictional force and the another stress. And this frictional stress will be tensile stress in nature. Okay, it will be tensile or compressive in nature depending on the season, whether it is summer season or winter season. And the formula is this one. Please note it down, this formula. Okay, so SF is equals to gamma C into L into small f by 2 into 10 to the power 4. Whereas gamma C is the, we are talking about the frictional force. So whenever there will be frictional force, one weight term will come. Weight of the cement concrete term will come. Okay, and that term is explained by this one. Gamma C is nothing but the unit weight of cement concrete, or rather we can say density of the cement concrete. Okay, unit weight of cement concrete or density of the cement concrete. Unit is in kg per meter cube. If not provided, assume it as this one, 2400 kg per meter cube. Okay, and again as I said, this stress is developed to resist the frictional force, so there will be one term, coefficient of friction. This one is that one. So this is the coefficient of subgrade friction. Subgrade friction, why? Because the slab, bottom of the slab and subgrade, there will be frictional force generated between these two surface. One is the bottom of the slab and one is the top layer of the subgrade, top surface of the subgrade. That's why it is called subgrade friction. Again, if it is not given, assume it as 1.5 meter. Okay, L is the total length of the slab. Capital L is the total length of the slab. Okay, in meter. I'm telling you guys that please remember the, for every formula, whatever see here 10 to the 4 2 whatever it comes, please remember the unit. It's very important. You can't change the unit. You have to keep everything, this parameters unit same, which is given in the equation. Okay, gamma C is in kg per meter cube. Okay, L is in meter. Okay, okay, F is in F is unitless. Wherever somewhere we have given that H is in centimeter, so we have to keep it in centimeter only. Okay, so this length is sometime again said to be the length of the slab or spacing of the contraction joint or again transverse joint. Okay, whereas this is that SF, this is the stress generated to resist frictional force. That's why it is F. This is stress and this is F. Now how it is derived? Okay, how we get this formula? So suppose this is that slab I'm talking about. Okay, we have taken one slab. The length is what? Suppose this was your pavement and it was made up of this slab, like this slab. We are extracting this slab and showing it like this in 3D. Okay, we are taking out this and seeing like this. Length is this one, here to here, that L is. Okay, and B is here to here, B. Okay, and the thickness is H. So this is the total length, this is the H, and this is the breadth. See, in meter, meter, centimeter. Okay. Say for example, due to seasonal variation, that means during winter. What I'm talking about, during winter, what is the tendency of the slab? It will contract or it will expand. Hmm?
Winter contractor.
Yes, during winter, slab will try to contract. So see here, contraction will occur. Okay, from both the direction, it will try to squeeze. Now that means this slab has a tendency to move towards this direction, right? This direction and this direction. Okay, so obviously there will be some friction generated. If we move an object over the ground, what happens? There will be friction between the bottom layer of the object and the ground. So same here also, since the slab is trying to move inward, so friction will try to generate in the opposite direction, that is outward direction. This is that frictional force F. Okay, now see, in order to resist this friction, again, in order to resist this friction, some forces, yeah, stress generated within the section of this, within the center section of the slab, which will act opposite to the direction of the friction. That means if the force is acting here, frictional force is acting here, okay, it will try to resist this frictional force and will generate a stress which will act in the direction opposite to the direction of the frictional force. Suppose for this force, stress is generated in this direction, SF is generated in this direction, and whereas for this force, SF is generated in this direction. Okay, now see why I'm taking the middle portion, middle section only. This is called the resisting section area. This is the resisting section area. This, and here the stress will be maximum. This SF will be maximum. Since why maximum? See, this is the okay stress distribution graph. This one at the corner. Okay, at the corner, what happens? This slab is free to move. Okay, so here what's it? Frictional stress will be less. It is free to move. There is no friction. If there is no friction, that means there will be no resisting stress also in order to resist that force. So here SF is 0. Okay, now slowly what happens? If we move more inner towards the center, then what happens? This friction will increase. Okay, so in order to resist this increased friction, SF will also start to increase. That's why see it is increasing. Okay, and it is said that at the middle section it will develop the maximum stress, which is SF. Same from this side also. At the corner or at the edge, this slab is free to move. There will be no friction. It has free to move. But as we go inward, it becomes tough for the slab to move inwards. So, in order to resist that force, frictional force will also increase. And as this increase, that means SF will also increase. So, it is see from here also it is increasing. Okay, so we have to find the stress at the midsection. The maximum stress at the midsection, and this ABCD is that area where it occurs, the maximum stress is occurred. Okay, so see I've taken that one, that area here, how it looks like. I said one stress will generate, suppose friction was acting in this direction. Okay, so in order to reduce this friction, one stress will generate in this direction, direction of the frictional force. Okay, that stress is now tensile stress in nature. Okay, so in order to find this SF, what is the formula? SF equals to stress is equals to now what will be the area of this resisting section? B into H. Okay, B is in meter, H is in centimeter. See here, B meter, H centimeter. So we have to convert this into centimeter. So we will get this one. 100 BH will be in your centimeter square. Okay, now see here. as we all said that we have to consider only the half of the portion. Why? Because see, the maximum stress occurs at the center. So we have to consider only this half portion. If we consider this will also be same. So considering the half portion of the slab, what is the frictional force? Frictional force is given by coefficient of friction into normal weight. Normal weight is nothing but the slab weight, right? Now what is the slab weight? For slab weight, we must know the volume and we must know the density. If we know the volume and if we know the density, we can know the weight of that particular structure. So what is the volume? Length, this is total length was L, but we are taking only the half portion of the slab. So length is L by 2, breadth is B meter, H is centimeter. See here, L by 2 meter, B meter, H is centimeter. Okay. This is your volume, and into what we have to do? Volume into density. We will get the weight. So density is nothing but gamma C. That is unit weight of concrete. This is made up of concrete. So gamma C is unit weight of concrete and its unit is in kg per cube. Okay. Now convert this centimeter since it is in meter cube. So we have to keep this volume also in meter cube. So convert this into meter cube. That is divided by 100. So this volume is in meter cube now. This is also in meter cube. This unitless. If we multiply all the parameters, we will get kg, which is given by this formula. So capital F is defined by this formula. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Yes.
I said that we have to resist this force by some tensile force. Okay. So in order to resist this, see, force is acting in this direction, right? Frictional force is acting in this direction. Now this is resisted by the SF. So SF should be in this direction. So I have taken this section now. I've carried this section and put it here. So it will look like this. Now this stress acts on this area. So what is the force? Stress into area. Okay, tensile stress into area. Now area is how much? B meter into H centimeter. See, B meter into H centimeter, and stress is given by SF, and its unit is kg per centimeter square. See, SF is in kg per centimeter square, so we have to convert this area also in centimeter square. So how much? B is given in 100, multiply it with 100, we will get centimeter, and after multiplying this we will get the area in centimeter square. So centimeter square, this centimeter square will cut off, so we will get the unit in kg. So as I said, for equilibrium condition, this frictional force must be equal to this tension force. Okay, so we have to equate both the case. This is a frictional force and this is your tensile force, both are in kg. So after equation and after simplifying, we will get that SF value, which is this one, FL gamma C by 2 into 10 to the power 4, which I have shown in the first page of this lecture. See, first page here, this one. Okay, see, LF gamma C by 2 into 10 to the power 4, same equation. So this is the procedure for deriving the SF equation, equation for SF. Okay, so now you can directly memorize this formula or you can remember the how to derive and again derive. Okay, so you have to use this formula. What are F? F, I said, is the coefficient of friction. If not given, take it as 1.5. L is the length of the slab or spacing of the contraction joint in meter. Gamma C is your unit weight of the concrete in kg per meter cube. If not given, it is considered as 2400 kg per meter cube. Clear? As I already said, this is the tensile stress in the concrete. Tensile stress in the concrete. Concrete is weak in tension. So the value will also be very small. Tensile stress, permissible tensile stress generated will be within the range of 0.8 kg per centimeter square. Maximum SF value should be 0.8 kg per centimeter square. Okay. So this is you can consider this for your check purpose also. You can check that whether your SF coming out to be within this range or not. Now These are the very important that you have to consider when this SF will not always be tensile only. Okay, it will be sometime acting as a compression also, compressive also, depending on the nature of the weather, whether it is summer season or whether it is winter season. See, during summer season SF is compressive in nature. Okay, so this is C in nature, SF. Whereas during winter, SF is tensile in nature. How? See the diagram. See here. During this is for during summer. What happens during summer? Slab will try to expand, right? So it has a tendency to move outward in this direction. From both the direction, it has a tendency to move in this direction. Okay. Now, what happens? So frictional force will occur in opposite direction. Obviously, if slab moves in this direction, so friction force will be in the opposite direction as shown in the figure. Okay. Now SF is what? SF is generated to resist this frictional force. That frictional force is acting in this direction, so resist your SF will be acting opposite to the direction. Okay. So in order to resist this force is generated in this direction. SF is in this direction. Whereas in order to resist this force, see this direction is this one like this. So it is now acting opposite to this F direction. Okay, this SF is for this and this SF is for this one. Clear? Hmm? একটু মিউট করো।
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
ma'am.
দেখো what happens. This during expansion slab will move outward, so your frictional force will be in opposite direction. And again to resist this frictional force, SF will generate within the section which will act opposite to the direction of the force. So for this force is acting in this direction, so your SF which is resisting this force will act in this direction. So by nature we can see that this is in both are acting like this. That means what? This is compressive in nature. Okay, both are coming towards the center, so that's why it is compressive in nature. Whereas in winter what happens? Opposite happens. See, winter it has a tendency, slab has a tendency to contract. That means it has a tendency to move in this direction. Okay, in this direction from both the side. So frictional force will generate obviously in the opposite direction like this. For this one, it will opposite like this from the center. From the center, okay. So in order to resist this one, F force which is acting in this direction, SF will be acting in this direction. Okay. And again, in order to resist this frictional force, one stress is generated which is acting in this direction. So your SF will be in opposite direction. See here now, both the SF are moving outward from the center. So this is tension in nature. Clear?
Hmm.
So we have to keep it in mind when will be our these forces in tension condition or in compression condition. Now please do the problem. See, this is a problem. Please do it. What they have given. The spacing between contraction joint of CC pavement is 4.2. Right? What did I say? If this is your slab top view, okay, this is the top view, and the vehicles are moving in this direction, top view, okay. This is another lane. This is your longitudinal joint, this is your transverse joint. These are transverse joint and these are longitudinal joint. So they are saying that the spacing between the contraction joint is a transverse joint. Okay. So suppose this is one contraction joint, this is another contraction, is another contraction joint. So their spacing is how much? They are saying it is 4.2 meter. Okay. And this is your L. For a particular slab, this value will be your L value. So this is your L. Determine the टेंसाइल स्ट्रेस डेवलप्ड इन द पेवमेंट ड्यू टू कॉन्ट्रैक्शन. ठीक है, मतलब ये क्या हो रहा है, ये तुम्हारा विंटर में हो रहा है, राइट. सी आई सेड ड्यूरिंग विंटर स्लैब विल बी इन कॉन्ट्रैक्शन, स्लैब विल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, फॉर विच टेंसाइल फोर्स will generate, tensile force, that means tension will generate. Okay, the nature of SF will be T, tension. So that only determine the tensile stress developed in the pavement due to contraction if the coefficient of friction between the bottom of the pavement and supporting layer is 1.1. This is your F. Okay, assume other data. So F is your 1.1, L is your 4.2. Okay, now what is the formula?
Formula.
Formula
Right.
they are
If
asking you.
SF is equal to F dot F into L into gamma C into by 2 into
So from
10
in
power
this
4.
in this F is given. Okay, L is also given. F is your 0.15, L sorry 1. কত ছিল? L is your 4.2.
4.2.
Okay, F is your 1.1 and they have said that assume other data. Other मतलब यहाँ पे क्या है, एक ही डाटा रह गया है, that is gamma C, and gamma C is your unit weight of cement concrete, which is, if not given, we have to assume it to be 2400 kg per meter cube. See here, length of the slab will be in meter. Okay, we will keep it in meter. Gamma C will be in kg per meter cube, which is 2400 kg per meter cube. So this is the formula. Please write down the formula. And they're asking you to derive the tensile stress due to contraction. They didn't say that this is the frictional stress. They didn't say. They just said calculate the tensile stress developed due to contraction. That means this is your SF only. So what is the value? So did you get this 0.5544 kg per? Hmm?
Ma'am?
What is the value of SF?
Yes, ma'am. 0.544
0.544.
centimeter
See, it's
square.
within our limit. What was the maximum value? I said it should be 0.8 kg per centimeter square, but it came out to be 0.554. So it's okay. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then for today, keep it this much only. Any doubt till now?
ম্যাম
আমি till now? First tell me that.
আমার অ্যাসাইনমেন্টটা দেবেন নাকি?
What I'm asking? কোনো ডাউট আছে আর সেটা বলো। হুম,
না ম্যাম।
ক্লিয়ার
No,
তো?
ma'am. No, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am.
ওকে
না ম্যাম, কোনো ডাউট নেই।
বাবা বুঝে গেলে
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
হ্যাঁ